Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, so Trump was going to fix the Russian-Ukraine war in 24 hours. That was his campaign promise. One day, he was going to tell him to knock it off. Tough talking Donald Trump. And, yeah, that never happened, nor did the war stop. And then, he was humiliated Zelensky in the world stage while Zelensky was visiting the White House. A month later, Zelensky signs a minerals deal with the U.S., and then Trump now wants Ukraine to go to peace talks with Russia that Putin doesn't bother showing up for. Talk about making Zelensky jump through hoops and act like a little puppet, while Putin just does stuff to humiliate other world leaders, and Trump does nothing about it. That tough-talking Donald Trump said, well, there's not going to be any peace negotiations until I call Putin. Well, he called Putin, and then nothing's happened. He just wants the peace negotiations to go forward. There's no leadership. There's no plan. There's no guidance. He is the weakest strongman I've ever seen. I had the guilty pleasure of listening to Dr. Lena this morning on my drive to work. And she had this great quote that he's a poor man's version of a rich man and a weak man's version of a strong man. It really is true. It really, really is true. From the gold-plated toilets to the talking tough behind the internet keyboard or his phone when he posts up on Truth Social, and then you put him in a room with Putin, he just is a grinning idiot. So, yeah, I'm sure Putin's really intimidated right now. So, Zelensky's worried that the U.S. is going to pull out of peace talks again, and Rubio and J.D. Vance are kind of intonating that might happen. I guess Donald doesn't want his peace prize to come from Ukraine and Russia? I don't know. But Zelensky is concerned that maybe the U.S. will start withdrawing support again, even though they just signed this minerals deal, which would necessitate the U.S. providing support. It's just the ramblings of a madman. And I don't know if that's me or the mindset of Donald Trump. I don't know anymore. Anyways, let's look at the Trump, Russia, Ukraine war vibe. What's going on between Trump, Putin, and this war? Okay, this will be for entertainment purposes only. Four of Swords. He wants things calmed down. There's a calming down, crossed with an exposure of the truth. And High Priest. Now, these would be great cards if Trump actually wanted to drive a ceasefire and expose things. But there's nothing I saw in Trump's presentation that would indicate to me that he's going to do that. So I'm going to take this a different direction. I hope you all are sitting down for this. But this is Putin telling Donald Trump to take a back seat for a while, or else I'm sitting on secrets and I'm gonna let the world know what those secrets are. This is almost like a reverse blackmail. Donald Trump goes in there acting like he's gonna be king for a day, and as Linda G would say, and take Vladimir Putin out to the woodshed, and Putin instead takes Trump out to the woodshed. In the past, you got the Nine of Cups. Who's in charge? Trump is the face of the United States. Putin's the face and mind behind Russia. Putin's been sitting here in the catbird seat the whole time. Plays Donald Trump like a fiddle. Current situation is the Ten of Coins. Now, for Putin, he should be concerned about his economy. And that's where Trump could have... If this were Trump being strategic, that's where he could nail Putin, is talking about the economy. I could read this both ways. In this case, I think Putin's got a mountain of compromise on Trump. They both have their plans. If Trump were going to talk about the economy and things that they know, they could say, move forward with this peace plan. For Putin, it's like, get out of my way, or else I'm going to start releasing this information on you. The lesson to be learned: Trump, if he was a strong man and moved forward with this peace plan, he could probably get a ceasefire and end the war. Putin is basically saying, back off and, stay out of it. And who's going to celebrate that? I would imagine Putin is. Putin's getting what he wants out of this. Now, is he going to wreck his economy in the process? Possibly. But the outcome is the Queen of Wands, and then what's left is Ukraine. More peace talks, more action, but it's all being put on Zelensky. So in some ways, Putin's doing stuff to have himself celebrate in Russia and humiliate Zelensky, and Trump is allowing it to happen. When Trump could actually... Trump is holding a lot of cards in his hand. If only he knew how to play the game. He doesn't. And not the least of which is this why. There's stuff that Putin knows that he holds over Trump. Okay. How's Zelensky looking at all this? The news reports are saying that he's concerned about the U.S. maybe backing out of involvement of this, and then maybe even withdrawing support. Certainly, Marjorie Taylor Greene wants the U.S. to withdraw support on this. Maybe if she had adult pictures of Vladimir Zelensky, she could stop, thirsting over Hunter Biden long enough to see Zelensky. Who knows? Creepy old woman. Okay. How's Zelensky feeling about all this? Eight of Cups. He's worried about the U.S. walking away, I think. And walking away from the happy ending. It's funny because Ukraine is acting more like the United States against England, if you want to go back 250 years. But he's worried the U.S. is backing away from him, and he needs the support in order to prosecute this war. In the past, Six of Wands, he got the victory with holding off Russia. He's got the victory in winning the presidency, victory in holding off Russia for 3+ years, and victory in signing a arm-bending minerals deal to secure U.S. support. Now he's trying to hold on to those victories as best he can. And he's looking to see what compromise is coming on here. Lesson to be learned, is he going to be welcomed or abandoned? That's the concern. Outcome is the Page of Swords. Spying the camp? Maybe. This could be a thing for intelligence. This could be him continuing the fight, but it's a smaller fight because if the U.S. I think he's concerned the U.S. is going to pull back weapon funding, and he has to fight with a smaller sword. But you know what? He's still going to fight. There's a determination in here that's like, okay, fine, at some point, the Page is going to become the Knight. The Page is going to become the Master Swordsman. And they've been fighting for 3 years and holding on for 3 years. I'm just hoping the Page is not some type of spy in his cabinet or another assassination type attempt on him. I don't really want to read on that. I could say, give me a little bit. Now, fine. Probably should have thrown the cards when I had them, but it is what it is. Tell me what that Page of Swords is. Give me a little more clarification on what the Page of Swords is. Little 4-carder. Mostly, what is that Page of Swords about? Winning at all costs versus losing. Yeah, I think he's just going to continue fighting. It's the right fight. What choice do you have? You fight or Russia takes over, and he wants to take care of his country. And he knows he knows what happens if he surrenders. So that Page of Swords is not a spy. That's not a anything along those lines. That literally is knowing that you have to fight and you can't surrender, because you know what happens when you surrender. You're stuck. You're stuck fighting. It's a just war. It's an unjust invasion, but a just war. And he's just going to be counting on other countries helping Ukraine with maintaining its sovereignty. What's Trump thinking about Putin? What did Putin say to Trump? What did Putin say to Trump that got Trump all backing off? What's he holding over Trump? Is he offering him money? Is he holding compromise? What is Putin? How is Putin manipulating Trump? Holding on to money. It's like it's holding on to information, not letting information out. It would be really questionable information, stuff that would impact young people doing weird things. It's the PP tape, and there we are again with the High Priestess. He's sitting on it. He's got it. And there's that card again. You know, you just sleeper agent Trump, Krasnov. You just stay down. They came to an understanding. Putin's playing nice with Trump, but you know the American government. You know, you just sort of maybe withhold funding from. Reduce funding to Ukraine, and this stuff never need come out. This could be the FSB. I think that's what the KGB is called these days. And everybody wins. There's that Three of Cups card again. Everybody wins. Yeah, Putin he's holding stuff over Trump. The Three of Cups, oh my. That Three of Cups could also be interesting. We'll put that to the side here. That Three of Cups could be the compromise. 3 different things involving women or girls. Okay? You know, they talk about, here's something that I don't remember if any of the readers have talked about. Now, we've all heard for years that women would be the downfall of Trump. What if it's a PP tape involving teenage girls not women, girls, or something along those lines? Would it be women bringing Trump down if that's what's released? Trump assaulting a girl, something like that. Would that fill that prophecy, as it were? Maybe. Don't want to think it, but what's Trump thinking about Putin's offer? How's Trump reacting to this? Money. Always opportunity and money. It's like an opportunity with money. Part of a plan. I think Putin's offering him money because Trump only thinks in one. When he's not thinking with this, he's thinking with this. Yeah, backroom deals done. Those deals are going to blow up. Trump Tower, if you will. Again, it's like Trump Tower Moscow, Trump Tower Kiev. You just be cool. We will get through this. You'll be, Trump being the emperor, Putin being the emperor. We got those secrets, so, it's the carrot and the stick again. Here's your carrot, here's your stick. Putin's hitting him with both. He's hitting him with the carrot and the stick. You don't do what I say, I'm going to release that information. You do what I say, you'll get a Trump Tower, you'll get to be president for life. Nobody will throw you in prison. Look at all these major arcana, 2 in a row. We'll keep it all a secret. Your secrets won't be revealed. So, basically, Putin, to me, in this spread, he's offering Trump a carrot, Trump Tower, money, a stick, or else I'm going to release that information. You don't want me to release that information. You want that information to stay secret. You can get your Trump Tower and be emperor for life. simpleton. All right. I'm leaving it here. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I do appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video.